right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, this physique update from Dorian Yates at 61 years old, showing off he's still got it. Pretty ripped abs from Dorian at age 61. Obviously, he's not been training the same way that he trained when he was Mr. Olympia. He's not doing this crazy, heavy, high-intensity, insane workout regimen. He's more focused on overall health and longevity, a lot more yoga, a lot more cardio, and honestly, the guy looks fantastic. And also, as morbid as it might sound, the fact that he's still here at 61 is a really, really good thing, considering he's the guy that a lot of people consider to be the original mass monster, the guy that ushered in the era of the freak. You've really actually got to consider the fact that a bodybuilder as big as Dorian was, making it into their 60s and still looking healthy and showing no real signs of any issues or slowing down. I mean, I think that's a really good achievement in and of itself. I mean, 61 sounds young in the overall grand scheme of things. But a lot of the elderly bodybuilders or the older bodybuilders that we see still around today are kind of from Arnold's era. The guys that have made it into their 70s are from that golden era of bodybuilding. They weren't the mass monsters that we got to see in recent times. So seeing these guys like even Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman, age into their retirement, and Dorian Yates getting into his 60s, we're getting to see what it looks like for a bodybuilder from the mass monster era to enter retirement and kind of transition into a healthier lifestyle and what that post-retirement career really looks like. And I don't think it's going to be until those late 90s, early 2000s era mass monster bodybuilders start to age into their 60s and 70s that we see what that life expectancy for a more modern era bodybuilder looks like compared to a golden era bodybuilder. And I think that's kind of going to be an interesting thing to watch. But Dorian Yates seems to be setting a pretty good example. Downsized, obviously, healthier, obviously, different training, different mentality. It looks like it's paying off. He still looks pretty impressive here for a guy of his age. Now, next up in the news, Laslo Clarida winning this weekend's Classic Physique show, the Shier Classic Italy, earning himself a qualification for the 2023 Classic Physique Mr. Olympia. And honestly, I was pretty impressed by this. This was the guy that had that viral video, the front double bicep video, where he's got this absolutely insane V-taper, crazy small waist, vacuum pose, the lat flare from the front, crazy impressive. And when we got to see him on stage, I think he was equally as impressive. We talk about how sometimes guys on social media generate a lot of hype and don't necessarily deliver. I think he really delivered at this show. And I'm honestly really looking forward to seeing what he's able to bring to the Classic Physique Olympia stage. It'll be interesting to see if he's going to be able to crack that top 10 or not. But that V-taper in those front shots, just insanely impressive. And I was happy to see him win that show and kind of transition from this viral Instagram video into being a very competitive pro show winning Classic Physique competitor. What do you guys think? How do you think he looked here? How do you think he will fare at the Classic Physique Olympia 2023? Now, next up in the news, we finally got the competitor list for this weekend's Orlando Pro. Now, this is a show I'm very excited for because of the fact the main guy that we knew was doing the show, Hassan Mustafa, we get to see him fight for redemption here after that second place finish at the Toronto Pro to Ian Valliere. He's going to try to earn that Olympia qualification. He was qualified for last year's Olympia 2022, but due to a health condition, he was not able to compete. This year, looking for redemption to get back to that Olympia stage, and we can finally see what he's going to be able to do at the Olympia if he wins this Orlando Pro. And to be honest, based on this lineup, I think he's got a really good shot at doing this. And much like Ian Valliere, a lot of people were saying it's Ian's show to lose in Toronto. I feel like this Orlando Pro for Hassan, I think it's his show to lose. So in this lineup, you've got Muhammad Al-Snor, Emmanuel Alvarez, Leonardus Cardoza, Devon Cossie. Phil Klahar is back in this lineup, which I think will be interesting. He's also doing the Masters Olympia, so we get to kind of see a preview of his pre-Masters Olympia physique here. Chris DiDomenico, Matt Kuba, Scott Lightfoot, Stanimal, Stan DeLongu. And honestly, some of the updates that I've seen from Stanimal are the most impressive I've seen from him in a very long time. So he could do really well here. To me, he looks bigger and fuller than he's ever been. So it's interesting to see his transition. I think he started in men's physique and moved all the way up. And I think the same is true for Jason Lowe. He moved up to open bodybuilding. I think he's been looking more impressive than he's ever looked. Of course, you've got Hassan Mustafa, Eric Ramirez, and Ray Short. So An interesting lineup, but I think realistically, this is Hassan's show. If we see the same Hassan or better than the Hassan that we saw in Toronto, I feel like it would be almost impossible for him to lose this show. If he's in comparable condition, in comparable shape to that Toronto show, I don't know if it matters how good any of these guys look. If he looks that good, I think this is his show to win. And based on the updates that we've seen over the last couple of weeks since the Toronto Pro, it looks like Hassan is still on track and probably likely to do that. We talked about Hassan's most recent physique update in yesterday's video, or the last video, I guess it was Saturday. So I'm expecting to be making a video this weekend announcing that Hassan won the show. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is this Hassan's show to lose? Now, next up in the news, we got a physique update from your 212 Olympia champion, Shaun Clarida. So the giant killer, 20 weeks out from the Olympia, sitting at 206 pounds right now. He says this is his starting point, taken last week, sitting at 206. He said this is one of the busiest years of his life as far as his career and his family life. Obviously, he just welcomed a daughter. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. How many years can Shaun continue to win this thing? A lot of people think this could be the year he gets beaten. I think that if anyone is going to beat Shaun, it's going to be when Keon really hits his maximum potential and when Keon really peaks perfectly for the Olympia. I don't think Shaun can beat him. But it all just comes down to that conditioning. The reason why Shaun is so dangerous in that 212 category is his conditioning is just insane. It's very, very difficult to beat. In 212, I think conditioning is almost more emphasized than in open bodybuilding because of that weight limit. Everybody's got to be more competitive from a condition standpoint because there's not as much room to be competitive from a size standpoint in 212. And that's evident by Shaun Clarida being the champion now, because he's by no means the biggest guy in 212, arguably the smallest guy in terms of weight. So we know that 212 is really heavily reliant on conditioning. What do you guys think? The 212 Olympia title, is it open this year? Or is Shaun going to close the door and win another title and nobody can beat him? I think that title is not, it's not a slam the door shut thing. I think that title has a chance at being taken. I think in both 212 and open bodybuilding, the days of a Flex Lewis winning 7 years, or a Ronnie Coleman or a Phil Heath winning 7-8 years, and having these champions that just year after year can't be beaten and keep coming back and dominating, I think we're out of that era right now. We're in an era where these titles are changing hands every year, which I think makes the Olympia incredibly exciting. I think we're in store for some shocking results in both divisions this year, and possibly even in classic physique. I mean, Chris Bumstead is one of the best classic physique competitors we've ever had. He's won the title more than anybody else in classic physique has ever won it, but the talent in that division is so impressive. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a new classic physique Olympia champ this year. I'm not saying I think that's likely, but I don't think it's impossible. We're really seeing some interesting results at these Olympias. And I think this year we're going to have some shocking instances. And maybe Shaun Clarida losing the title could be another one of those instances. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Now, the final story that I've got for you guys today, Justin Shier, as he prepares for that Chicago Pro, looking extremely impressive. These are today's updates from him and Matt Jansen. I think this is one of the new younger pros that is going to really surprise a lot of people, especially at the Chicago Pro. Honestly, I think there's a chance he could win the show. Obviously, we don't know the lineup yet. But based on everything I've seen from Justin Shier so far, this guy's the real deal. And I really think we're going to get confirmation of that when we see him on stage next to other pros. I think he's really going to hold his own, and I think people are going to be surprised with how well he does. I really have a feeling he's going to be very dangerous. Really good structure, really good amount of size, just a pretty aesthetically pleasing physique, honestly. It's physiques like this that I like to see more of in open bodybuilding, so I want to see him do well. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Justin Shier at the Chicago Pro, how do you think he's going to do? I think he's going to do really well here, and I think, like I said, I think people are going to be surprised with how well he actually does do. So that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and click that bell notification icon to be notified every time I upload a video. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. my Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power, my secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel, and consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.